Hi everyone, and welcome to this video. In this video I have the honor of being joined by Stuart Tan from Singapore. Hi Stuart, how you doing?
Munir.
Good. Good to have you on. And so Stuart has had the opportunity to speak to over 500,000 people around the world. He's published 3 best-selling books, and he trains a number of corporates as well as governments. And so Stuart, I'd like you to share your knowledge on what it is that your process of achieving goals. So yeah.
Well, Munir, first of all, I think it's always something that everybody needs. Having goals and being able to reach them has always been frustrating for a good number of people because they just don't, stick to their plan. And a lot of people say that, having goals is just about writing a set of goal statements. That's not true. What I found is and again, a lot of people approach me to distinguish really the difference between achievement and success, because a lot of people have this messed up idea that success is all about money. It's not necessarily just about money, and I found that the more people made, the more sometimes they became miserable. And as I investigated that, I found out that their idea of achievement is different. In fact, some people lapse into what we call an achievement loop. They just keep going for whatever it is that they're going for, without realizing that that's not really their definition of success. So I came up with a proprietary 3-step system that enables them to kind of think through things a little bit more deeply. Like, for example, has there ever been a time where you did something and then you said, damn it, that's the second time I've done it in my life, right? So they make the same mistakes again. And the reason why is because they don't take a look at what has happened in the past and learn from that. I call that confrontation. I know confrontation doesn't sound nice. It's probably one of the most difficult things to do. Like, to confront means I have to, be aggressive and all that. But that can be done very gently. I do know that, for example, taking a look at my history, I can admit that I used to be really arrogant. And if I have traces of that back in my past, I want to find ways to be able to clean that up. So by confronting myself, I ask myself a very simple question for clarity. Do I think this will ever happen again? And if I have an ounce of doubt that it will never happen again, I gotta go clean something up. So it's that point of time where I go, is this really gone? And I have to be absolutely honest with myself. Because in moving towards our goals and moving towards whatever achievement we deem to be success, we cannot have interferences. Tim Galway once said that performance equals potential minus performance equals potential minus interference. So if we have a lot of interferences in our day, like earlier on we had that beeping going on with that truck and so on. So there was an interference, right?
This is our third time filming this video.
The performance of this recording would have been horrible. But because of that, every single time I encounter someone who's going for their goals, a lot of them are either overly aggressive toward reaching their goal at all costs, they say, do whatever it takes. I mean, that's nice to hear from a motivational speaker standpoint, and we know who does that most of the time. And I'm not saying that's not effective, it's just that sometimes the interferences just get in your way, and sometimes those interferences have an ecological problem. In other words, you treat people badly, you push people too hard, and so on. So the next step of that, once you've gotten clarity, is to go in to declare what it is that you want instead. So we know that there's certain things that we don't want, but there's most certainly certain things that we do want, right? Do want more of. So as part of that process, that declaration requires 2 key things. You can set your goals, that's not a problem. In fact, I recommend that people actually write their goals down. But what they miss out is, firstly, is it values oriented? In other words, do you know what your values are in the first place? And number 2, do you move through a mastery cycle? In other words, from A to Z, you've gone through the whole alphabet, and you know that you're confident in getting every single letter. Most people don't do that. Right? So they go like, I'm just going to try this goal, let's see what happens, and then, I gave myself 6 months to have a successful $1 million business and it didn't work out, so forget it. But that's not the way things work in the world, right? So we need to be able to declare, but we need to be able to activate. What I find is that a lot of people go out and try and acquire tools. It's like, it's nice to have this tool, let's attend this seminar, attend this workshop, failing to realize that the tools that they acquire may never be used or used in the wrong context. So, for example, my analogy has been, you're preparing to climb a mountain.
Yes.
When you've got the ropes, you've got the pickaxe, you've got all your carabiners and all that kind of stuff going and thinking that you're going to climb a mountain.
Yeah.
But in reality, you get thrown into the deep end of the ocean and
Yeah.
you'll sink.
Yeah.
You will die. So the problem with most people is they start off with trying activation and then they go the other way, which is incorrect.
Yes.
So I recommend that they start off with a goal, and from that goal they start asking the question, so how do I equip myself now? And once, in NLP, you're a trainer of NLP, so that makes a perfect example of whom you should speak to. And what's important is for us to be able to have a series of different kinds of tools that will help us to get to wherever it is that we need to go. Now, once that happens, we go back and confront and say, hey, was I accountable to it? Is there anything else that I need to clear up?
Yes.
And if that's the case, then it becomes better and better and better over time in this cycle. And it becomes very useful for a person to accomplish goals effortlessly.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. These are amazing words of wisdom from a very accomplished man. Stuart, thank you very much for
My
sharing
pleasure.
your knowledge with us today and helping to enrich the lives of people out there that are watching. Thank you.
My pleasure.